What's going on, Internet? Welcome back to Nerdlocker. For this week's comic book reviews, I'm starting off with Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, #2. Something really big happens at the end of #1, and we deal with that directly in this. Peter Parker is still alive, apparently. Him and Miles kind of have like a really intense conversation, and then he beats the crap out of Miles. Miles wakes up, his web shooters are gone, so those are the only ones that Peter made. And immediately, Miles thinks this is a clone, which kind of makes a lot of sense. But if we know Bendis, we know that that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's happening now. I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes because I think killing Peter Parker was a giant thing in the Ultimate Universe. And I'd almost like to see him stay dead. So I'm just waiting to see the angle of this. Something also big kind of set up for the next issue. Either way, I've always been a fan of Ultimate Spider-Man, whether it's been Miles or Peter, and I'm interested to see the two work together or fight each other, just whatever their relationship's going to be. I'm stoked for it. So I'm going to give this 4 to 5 Nerd Skulls. Let me know what you guys thought.
All right, guys, coming here with my review for this week of Avengers World #7. Now, I was surprised by this issue in earlier installments of it. Or this series, I should say. It kind of gives more of a spotlight on certain characters, certain random characters, which I like. It's kind of like like a team-up book, but it's just one dude in particular per issue, which is sweet. This particular issue was the Falcon, which I am not a big fan of. I don't really care too much for him, but when he's presented in a really cool way, aka the Captain America 2 with the Winter Soldier, that was a really awesome way of doing him, of handling him. Like, I don't like him in the books. That was sweet. Either way, back to the book. Even though it was him, I still was enthralled in it. I've still pulled into it. It doesn't really even center around him, which was kind of funny to me. He's awesome and badass in it, so if you are a fan, don't sweat it. But still, it kind of like has this bigger aspect to it. There's a lot more that goes on, which I really like about this series in particular. It does that a lot with these issues. I mean, Madripoor turns out to be on top of a giant dragon. I mean, that just randomly shows up in one episode or one issue. Like, that's pretty sweet to me. So, just on the aspect of this being like a big, like canon-changing book, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. And it's also really badass, so that 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls holds up. So check it out, and let me know what you guys think.
Hey guys, this week I got to check out Action Comics #32, written by Greg Pak, art by Scott Collins. The story, I have not been reading this book, but I went back and read a few issues, caught myself up, and basically Superman was fighting Doomsday. This reminded me of the 90s book so much, but in this last issue, he basically took him down, but Doomsday turned into this big cloud of spores, and Superman consumed all of it, and now he's infected with this kind of Doomsday virus, turning him into Doomsday. In this issue, he's trying to hold that part of him inside while trying to protect the Earth, but everywhere he goes, just like that, this more recent Doomsday, everywhere he goes turns to fire. So in my head, I couldn't help but wonder why the hell he didn't just fly up to space where there's no oxygen, but he kept flying around, trying to stay away from people and not hurt people. And then eventually Steel comes along and tries to defuse the whole situation. And then Metallo comes along, and Lois Lane is involved, and she's basically just throwing Superman under the bus in this one. But she was asked to do so by Superman himself. What happens at the end with a aerosol bomb is awesome, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next issue. Don't worry, it's not the end of Superman, and I did not give away the big spoiler of the issue. So check it out. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Action Comics #32.
Hey fellow nerds, Jasper here. I just got done reading Justice League 3000 issue 7. This is an issue all about revelations. As the Five are chasing down Justice League, Batman and Superman and everyone else, are realizing that they are clones from the previous issue. But it's getting thick as they are now beefing with each other and trying to figure out how the hell they even get out of this mess. What's crazy about it is, when I say this book is about revelations, that's exactly what it is, because 2 of its members or supporting members back at Cadmus is causing more disarray as, yet again, big revelations arrive And it's insane. You know, I can't give too much into it, but it is shocking. And if you think one specific part of it is crazy enough, more insanity ensues. And it's great, you know. You think you have one insane moment and you have multiple. And that's the real kicker about this issue. And because of that, you know, I'm definitely going to give it a 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls, but you definitely have to check it out because you get lost for words when you see how much content they have in it with how much craziness follows. So definitely check it out.
Hey there, nerds. Jim here with my comic book reviews this week. And first up, I have a fan favorite of a movie I love, Big Trouble in Little China, the continuing adventures of Jack Burton and the Pork Chop Express. Clearly, they have no ambition of shortening the title there. It's obviously the first issue, written by Eric Powell, which is really cool. Variant cover by Chris Weston. Big shout out. I actually have a triptych of his posters of Kurt Russell. Very cool. The story picks up right, as far as I can tell, right as Jack was leaving town from the movie. It picks up right here in the comic book, and it's really cool because you have the demon that was kind of hiding in the back of the truck, pops out, and Jack's all like, what in the hell? We just defeated Lopan. What is going on? And he's got a new buddy, and it kind of reminded me of Harry the Hendersons, and it was funny, and I loved it. And that's what's great about this. You have a lot of, I'd almost say inner monologue with Jack Burton, except he's constantly talking, so it's not really inner monologue. And then you have scenes with the narrator, but the narrator is essentially repeating exactly what Jack Burton just said, which I think is, again, another layer of comedy. Jack has to go back, and he meets up with Egg and Wang, and it's awesome because all hell breaks loose. Another incident is coming about, and we find out that his little buddy, the Harry and the Henderson dude, is a demon from Lopan that is now stuck with Jack Burton forever because Jack Burton killed Lopan. Awesome. This is just chaos. It's exactly what the title says. I loved it. I highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, I got to read Captain America number 21. This whole series has been outstanding. Rip Remender has been killing it. Everything he did with Dimension Z and just the toll that it's taken on Steve Rogers this whole time has been nuts, and it just doesn't stop. Everything just keeps adding up, and the thing I kind of like about his run on Captain America is it is very much just hurting Steve. Like, he's really beaten down and just broken, and something huge happens at the end of this issue that I'm just like, where does this play into the rest of the Marvel Universe? When is this happening? What does this mean for Captain America? I mean, I know there's certain ways you can write around it, but I mean, how long is this going to last in this book? This is an outstanding book. It really is. And I mean, it's really been a while for me to really enjoy Captain America in his own series, probably since Brubaker did it. And this has just been outstanding. So you need to be picking it up. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, guys, Kibbe here with my review for Original Sin number 3. Okay, so something huge happens at the very end of this that comes out of nowhere, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but the way it happens, the way it shows up, and the way the book handles it, because it doesn't really happen towards the end. It's actually kind of like right in the beginning, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And the way it carries you through it is actually really awesome. Handled really well. I give mad props to Jason Aaron for the way he's able to construct this book and make you keep guessing and wondering what the hell's going on. And like the last page is one of those ridiculous ones that's going to go down in history. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing at this point. Like, I really like this series so far, but now I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Big implications into what's going to happen within the Marvel Universe, which has me extremely excited, even though I was really excited to see what they were going to do with particular characters. I won't say which ones, but man, that would have been sweet to see them keep going, because someone's done. So just for the fact that it's crazy awesome, Mike Diodato handles this artwork wonderfully. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls, and we're going to talk about it later, apparently, because it's huge.
Hey guys, I read a new #1 called Superannuated Man by Ted McKeever. He actually created it, wrote it, and drew it himself. This story, I didn't really understand what was going on, but basically the basic concept is that in this dystopian future, humans are kind of rare. Mutated other creatures now have taken over most of the land. And in this one small town of Blackwater, there's one old man left. And he goes by the name of He, which is kind of weird. But I like him, or he. I really want to see where it goes. In this issue, we meet some different mutated characters that kind of hang out on the shoreline, and then they run into the last surviving human in this town, and then they kind of run for dear life like they were scared of him. But then they see this giant mutated rhino, which was definitely the best part of the book. I love Ted McKeever's artwork, so I do kind of want to check out the next issue and see where he takes it. The concept is great, so I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Check it out.
So I also got to read Quantum and Woody number 11. Love Quantum and Woody, but lately I've kind of been like, oh man, this isn't really holding up to the energy that I want it to. It's not really defining, or I guess redeeming is a better way to put it, the characters. It's kept the same level going through for the last several issues with Woody just being a troublemaker and not learning from his mistakes, and he's bringing Eric down with him, which is sort of a bummer. But we're starting to see, I guess, going further down the chasm, so maybe he will have some redemption. Love this issue, though, because the ERA is back, and anytime the ERA is involved, they are ridiculous, crazy. One of my favorites is Betamax, and that he's half human, half robot, and he's got a Betamax tape machine. I just love that concept. In fact, in this issue, he talks about how he's going to record the event, and another one goes, hey, you're really doing it on videotape, aren't you? He's like, well, that's what I have, and that cracks me up because nobody uses videotape anymore. The issue itself was pretty good. I'm sad that we know this is coming to an end. I'm excited to see that this is going to be, they're going to team up with Archer and Armstrong, because those are two of my favorite books, 4 of my favorite characters in the Valiant universe. I hope that they're able to pick Quantum and Woody up to the level that Archer and Armstrong has been. This book, it seems like it's a rush job to get to the end because the book is ending. So it's okay. It's not great. I'm going to go ahead and give it 3.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, I got to read Swamp Thing, number 32. This is the end of the kind of Aquaman Swamp Thing crossover. It's a really cool idea that they wrote into this story about just the plant life being below the sea, and how Swamp Thing's never really tapped into that or thought about it, and it kind of really adds a whole nother dimension to the character, which I love. And I was a fan of Swamp Thing when it started, and I love that the book is still going strong. It seems like there might be a lot of arguing here. I just hope they really keep up with the action of this book, as well as like the science of it. That's what I really like about this book, is they're able to balance both parts of Swamp Thing without making either side really boring or just all action and, you know, no depth to it at all. But I suggest picking this up. It was a really good read. I give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.